the Eastern Cape Fashion Week isn't just about the fashion, it's also about giving the designers from the province a platform and also skills. The show has had a week-long build-up with sessions and workshops for the local designers. Well, Sipha Kema joins us with one of the designers who's expected to showcase at this evening's show. Sipha, I can just imagine how much fun you're having surrounded by all of these beautiful garments. And of course, while I'm suffering from FOMO, I'd like to see them as well. What are you seeing out there?
Well, Naledi, what I'll tell you is it's really getting hectic now as the time is getting closer to the show, to the final show. As you can see, last time we were here, we were talking to Hugo, we were looking at the designers scrambling around, doing the last-minute touch-ups to their garments. But now we're seeing the makeup on the models being done, and it is really a race against time, Naledi, with the makeup artists and the models here. From here on, then they'll be going straight to the assigned designers for their fittings as well. But of course, we did say that we will be speaking to one of those designers, and the designer we'll be talking to, Naledi, this is his debut as a fashion designer. He's excited, but also nervous, understandably so, because this is his first show. Now, these are the garments that you wanted to see. Of course, different designs, creativity behind them, various designers coming from the East, various parts of the Eastern Cape. Some of them are experienced designer, like earlier on, we spoke to one of the designers here whose dress right now is they busy with the last minute fittings, and he says that he's showcased in Dubai, he's showcased in Paris as well, but because of COVID he had to come back home, and that's what we're seeing. I mean, you can see these are the dresses that you wanted to see and some of those outfits, and there he is making the last minute fittings and alterations to that dress. Let's just also bring him just one more time. Fitting time now, I guess. Your models are here finally.
It's crunch time. It's
yes.
crunch time. So it's literally just the last minute sewing, see that everything is in place and in perfect, and then a little bit of alterations, yes?
Yes.
And stitching it up onto the model.
All right.
That's how it works backstage.
That's how it is, right? Okay, now we're seeing some of the secrets here, Naledi, but let's also move on. I'm seeing another pretty dress, a different design here, unique design currently being ironed, and I think let's bring in the designers. We can see he's also making last-minute alterations here as well. I see you busy there with the beads, with the necklace. It's crunch time.
It's very busy, and I'm so nervous. I just want the show to start already.
To start, you haven't even finished your jewelry yet.
Well, I'm already thinking about just happening so it can be over with. But yeah, I'm excited for it.
All right, thank you so much. And here are some of these garments and dresses here. And you're also busy moving to your station as well.
Yes, I'm over there.
As you can see, Naledi, it is quite busy. But let's bring in Martin Steenkamp, one of the designers that are coming in here with the unique designs. Martin, you also, they busy sewing away last minute?
Most definitely. And like I say, we are all very excited, very anxious, and very nervous also at the same time. But I think it's just the buzz and the energy that is very contagious from all the other creatives that is just keeping us all afloat now at the moment. Yeah, as we are applying our last minute touches to our looks to ensure that we deliver the narrative in all our collections based off the theme.
Let's talk about some of your designs. I mean, I want to start off with this one because it looks rather unique, and someone might ask, how and when am I going to wear this item? Let's talk about your designs, please.
Okay, so my design aesthetic is very bespoke. So it's one-of-a-kind pieces that is very futuristic, and it's one-of-a-kind. My aesthetic mainly focuses on the idea of taking the African narrative and moving it forward. So with the look that you see here, which I've built, it's a sleeve that is very architectural.
Yes.
And what I wanted to do was to sort of, in a way, focus on the idea of landscapes and moving landscapes and architectural landscapes that you see beautiful spaces in Africa. And like we said, the theme is freedom. Yes. So freedom is freedom of choice. So every space that you enter, you change the landscape. So that is the key focus. And hence, you see the shapes and the structures and the cool textures.
You see, there's a lot of work behind this, Martin. It's not just about sewing. It's also the visual and the vision behind it. And of course, coming to this theme that you're talking about, let's move on to your next dress as well. You're talking about freedom of choice, but also freedom of expression is quite important in fashion.
It is so important because, remember, fashion is a form of communication.
Yes.
So through fashion, we communicate our voices, our identity, our culture, who we are as businesses and our brands. And like I said, for me, the key focus was landscapes. So the fabrics are hand dyed according to interesting textures. I use avocado peels and onion peels to actually create the dye, because sustainability is such an important conversation in fashion. And also with the details that you see, the fabric was made with cotton that we threw away, like it's off discarded cotton that I melted to actually create the fabric. So there's actual cotton in the actual fabrication itself. Again, going back to the concept of it's the narrative that we want to ensure that the viewer sees, but also you feel it as a designer and as a creative. And for me, I'm just hoping that that narrative comes across through with the audiences who are going to view and see the beauty that is invested in the work.
All right. Thank you so much, Martin, for having a chat with us and showing us your amazing work. Really, Naledi, I mean, you can see and you can hear from what Martin is saying. It's just a lot that goes into designing these pieces. Most of the creatives, it's all about the creativity, but also him being conscious of being environmentally friendly, of course, to ensure that his garments as well, like saying he's using dye and onion peels onion peels and avocado to dye his pieces. That's something that I have not heard of ever. And these are his unique dyes, saying that the style that he's looking at is more bespoke. Now, let's just slowly also move on to the other section here. We have another designer coming in, and of course, he's also having his last minute dues here and looking at some of his designs here. I see you guys are going away. You're quite busy here sewing away last minute details.
Yeah, most definitely. Just doing my accessories now, but everything else, I think we're good.
It's done, right? This jacket looks rather unique. Can you tell me about the jacket?
Well,
is it fine if I can pick it up myself? Because I don't want to stop you here. Can I pick it up? All right, just let's show you, Naledi. You wanted to see some of these pieces, as you can see, this jacket. Let's talk about your jacket here.
Yes. So I chose to look at the political view of freedom. I had questions that weren't answered. I feel like the answers are always going to be provocative, like who paid for our freedom? What is democracy? All those type of questions. For me, who paid for our freedom is the West. So as you can see on the print, you have your British. The print is British.
Yes, and you've got the London buses as well.
Thank you. Yes, with the theme evolution of freedom, of fashion. I'm sorry. I chose to look at also the major influences of our fashion. Well, around the world, mostly it's going to be London, Paris, Milan, and New York.
Yes.
Yes. So with the prints that I used on my collection, you're going to find all those cities.
And I see some of your jackets and clothes have got military style.
Definitely.
Yes.
That's one of my signatures.
Okay. That's your signature style, military. All right, thank you so much for joining us. Sorry, let me hand this back to you. Naledi, we're seeing all these designs. And of course, as we all know, runway style is more of your couture, your bespoke designs and fittings that we see on these runways. And some of these designers amazing work will be showcased later on this evening. The doors open at 6 p.m. Naledi, and 6 p.m. we will be outside those doors talking to those in attendance, getting in the crowd, asking whether they'll be excited. Of course, we know that they're excited because for the past two other events of the Fashion Week, we've seen a number of people coming in support of the Eastern Cape Fashion Week. We'll be back at 6 o'clock. For now, it's back to you in studio, Naledi.
I have to admit, I am so envious of you this afternoon, Sipha, that there's our reporter Sipha Kema speaking to us live from the Eastern Cape Fashion Week.